Hey, I'm ROC.
It's Flynn Johnson.
And this is
Gobsmacked.
Welcome back. Thank you for the feedback from last week.
Got a lot of feedback.
A lot of friends were giving me a shout and stuff like that. Some of the old stories people remember.
You couldn't divulge on the podcast.
No, some of the stories you couldn't divulge on the podcast. But thank you for coming back, sticking with us. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave us a little review wherever you are in the world. If you're in Australia, if you're in Iceland, you know, they're just
India.
If you're just in
Greece,
if you're not in Blanche, you know.
Anywhere outside of Blanche is foreign. So if you're in Cork listening to this in that foreign land,
deserted island, like. No, but just make sure to leave us a little review wherever you are, because it's important for us two little broke boys trying to make
trying to make a trying to make a living. I wouldn't say a living, trying to make a splash in this big pond.
Oh,
we're tiny little fish in this big pond.
In the big pond, bro. I need armbands.
Johnson, armbands. Oh
my goodness.
Who let us do this? Anyway, I'm ROC.
I'm Flynn Johnson.
And this is Gobsmacked. Good luck.
Let's do it.
When did we first meet?
I see. You didn't. This sounds real stalkerish, right?
I was looking through your window.
I wanted to be you from a young age.
I was staring through your window one night on my creepy ladder. You used to send little sticky notes to your window.
I climbed up the drain pipe and it broke one night. That's how much I love you.
Here's my number. Call me Flynn. Like, who's this bleeding Flynn fella? Keep leaving posters on my window. Can't say a fucking thing.
Some fella knocked at the door with like flowers and a card for you.
Some chocolates. Send them up.
Send them up to me there.
Another one. Send them up.
What I was saying was,
I'll adopt them.
I knew. Yeah, I'm actually Richie's child. Oh yeah, I'm his son. No, when we first met, it was. See, I knew of you growing up in the estate, obviously, because we were the only two people I knew that rapped, like, you know what I mean? So I kind of knew who you were, because it was all like, "Have you heard about this itch fella?" You know what I mean? Like, all my mates were like, "The itch fella makes music. He's a studio and all that." You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just for people listening that don't know me, in Ladies Well, I'm called Itch. ITCH.
Yeah. I actually don't know if you wanted to even say that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Nobody calls me that now. Bar a few of the lads in the estate. You know what I mean?
Estate, yeah.
Everyone just calls me Richie or whatever.
So back then, I knew you was Itch. And I was like...
Do you know how I got that name? Will I tell you how I got that name?
Yeah,
it's the most silliest story in the world. When we moved to Ladies Well, I was the foreign kid. Because I had an English accent, right?
Yeah.
There was a young fella around the corner, Itch. I won't say his second name. The fella called Itch, right?
Yeah,
he was a jockey. He moved away. I think it was America or something like that. I can't really remember.
Right.
But he moved away. So Itch was gone, right?
Yeah.
So I was the new Richard in the estate. So it was like... Let's call him Itch.
He's the
new Itch, and that's how I got that fucking name.
Yeah,
Would you believe that?
That's mad.
Mad. Stupidest story. I just inherited the nickname.
Yeah. I thought maybe you had a scab or something, bro.
Nothing.
It's just full of scabs on you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, just because my name was called Richard, and the other fella around the corner was called Richard, but he moved away, so it was like, I'm gonna need another one now. Kind of replace that cunt. So he put me in. It's like, we just call him Itch.
When I was stalking you, I had all these theories why you were called Itch. Like
one of those boards with the red fucking string and all, connecting the dots.
I was like, did he have the chicken pox, or is he just a chicken and a pox? You know?
Was he a fan of Itchy and Scratchy?
No. Well, anyway, I knew you as Itch, and we were the only you were the only other person I knew that rapped in the estate. Like, you know what I mean? And so that's how I knew of you. You obviously didn't know of me, because I was a specky little blonde kid.
I knew your face. Face. That was it, because we used to pal around on your ma's road. We used to be in Arnie Cal's all the time. We used to be in Arnie's all the time in the garden. So I knew of you from coming in now of the house and that. Yeah. We knew, like, I know he's grand, like he can come up the avenue or whatever. Yeah. So you weren't touched or anything.
Yeah, no. But when we first met, I put out intellectual syllables. Oh my god, the state of that name. Oh my! Do you know what? I haven't said that name in years, bro. Yeah. And I literally just realised right now how terrible that.
In the episode where I was talking about O-Dog and all, I was the same. I was like, oh.
Anyway, I put out a song called Intellectual Syllables. You want the best, so to give you one of the, you know what I mean? Put out one of them tunes, a little freestyle.
F&M.
F&M. I thought it was the best name ever. F&M, yeah. But yeah, I put that tune out, and I think you, like, it was years, bro. And I think it was like 2012, 2013 or something. And I put that tune out, and you commented on the YouTube video, and you were like, "This the bollocks." But you told me a story about how that got your attention.
Yeah, it was Ricky.
Yeah.
It was Ricky, yeah.
Rick told you about it.
We were in London. We were in London. And we were in like a TGI's or something like that. It was me, Danny, Rick and Melissa. We used to always go away all the time.
Yeah.
Just like go England, like go over to Manchester or London, whatever, just for like a night out or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We used to do it all the time. But we were in like a TGI's or something. We were talking about music or whatever we were doing. I can't remember what we were talking about, but Rick turned around and says, "Do you hear fucking of Evan? I'm like, "Who? Evan? Do you hear him?"
Animal Chief Evan.
I says, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And he goes, "Oh, when you see this fella's that blade and bollocks." So he pulls up fucking, I think it was Facebook or something.
Yeah.
And he showed me that video. I was like, fuck off. Now I was steaming drunk off the Jaeger. But still I was like, geez, look at this chap. I was like, where's he from? He's like, he's from fucking from Arnie's Road, like from Ladies Rest. Fuck off. He was like, yeah, you know his face. And then I recognised, you know, the hair and the fucking glasses. I was like, there he is. That's him. That little young fella's rapping now. Unbelievable it was. It was, man. It was unbelievable back then.
Look,
how old were you on that? How old were you on that?
Juvenile. I would have been, what, only left school 16, 17 or something like that. 16 maybe.
Unbelievable.
When I put that out. But yeah, look, it was alright. It was alright. I look back on it now and I cringe, like, you know what I mean? But anyway,
yeah, we all do.
As I was saying, that, and then when me and Daryl made the whole super group that we thought was a super group at the time.
Or it was.
Yeah, you got in touch then because you were like, you seen that the two of us, because you were a fan of his and a fan of mine, and you were like, these two boys are working together now. Like,
yeah, remember he had that song, was it Feeding the Pony or something?
Yeah, that's
remember
it.
That, Feeding the Pony.
Hot box and rap
yeah,
the pound.
The
pound.
Yeah.
He.
I remember.
When we done that thing where we thought we were like Jay-Z and Kanye making Watch the Throne, like, and we announced it on everything, like, you know what I mean? We're coming together, you know? You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh my, I was like, people are going to lose it. You know what I mean? They're going to lose it when they see we're together. Now, like, obviously, Daryl's been my mate. We'll get into all that. But yeah, it was that, and then you got in touch with us because you had the Rock Collective at the time.
Yeah.
You had the Rock Collective website where you kind of just showcased talent and art.
Just new artists and that coming up, yeah.
And music.
Just local. It was only local people.
Yeah, and you had the art and all the stuff on that as well. But I was, even taking it back further, I was a big fan of you before you even knew who I was. Like, because when I was in school, bro, that's when Coal City dropped, like, and Coal City did the round. Like, I said this to you before, and I know you don't take compliments well or whatever, but Coal City did the rounds of my school, like, do you know what I mean? And that, like, when I was listening to that, and then when you got in touch with us, I was like, oh shit, we're gonna be working with this fella, you know what I mean? You know, that type of thing. Like, it's, I know we can laugh about it now, like, because I'm fucking sitting in your gaff, and you know what I'm saying? But
chilling.
I mean, yeah, it was that thing of, I was like, oh shit, he's getting in touch with us. This could be a good thing. Because at the time when me and Darryl we were doing gigs and we were doing all that stuff, and we were kind of making a name for ourselves in Irish hip hop, like, we had all sorts of people approaching us, like, and saying, like, oh, I want to be your manager, I want to do this,
the usual,
all that stuff.
The 20-year-old turn around like, I'm gonna be your manager. I'm gonna take you across the globe. Promise you everything. It's like, are you still in school, mate?
You in the year younger than me? What?
And what you doing now? Like, who you managing? No, and I work down Boots. What?
yeah. That's what I mean. Like, so we had it, and like, don't get me wrong, bro. We kind of trial ran a few people, like, you know what I mean, not in regards to management, but like, they were like, oh, we can get you shows and we can do this.
Yeah.
It all just fell apart. So when you came along, I was excited to do something with you, of course, because I was a fan of what you did with Coal City anyway, like. But, and we can talk about my take on that album, because you know, maybe we can talk about that at another time. But yeah, I was such a fan of you, but I was like, this is probably gonna be one of them things again where it's like, he's going to work with us once and he's going to say, listen, boys, I can do this and I can do that and blah blah blah, whatever. I hadn't got high hopes because of the previous stuff, like.
Yeah, of course.
But then we went and done it, and we clicked straight away, especially me and you, like. You just started chopping the shit up straight away, like. And,
my knees, bro.
My knees, bro. And we did a little freestyle vid, and then I think you were dropping me. No, you were dropping Daryl home. And you said to him, you were like, look, I'll produce, if you want, I'll produce a full album for you. Like, I'd love to be involved, whatever. And Daryl was like, yeah, I'll say it to Ev or whatever. And then he got in touch with me, and I was like, still skeptical. I was like, it's going to be one of them things again, bro. You know what I mean? Because you were going off to get married, and you were like, oh, I won't be back in touch with you till after January. And this was like during the summer, and I was like, oh, this is going to fall apart. Like, you know what I mean? That type of thing. But then, sure enough, after you jetted off and got married, you came back and you got in touch with us straight away, and then it went from there then.
The rest is history.
Yeah. It went from there then, bro. Yeah, but that was the first time we ever met was to do that little
the Rock Collective thing.
Yeah, the Rock Collective thing. Yeah,
that was when I was building the old rat rod and all, wasn't it? I was building the car at the time. It was in the shed, wasn't it?
It was still in the shed. Nothing was done.
It was in the big shed, wasn't it?
It was like 20-30% done or something like that.
Yeah,
you still had loads to go.
Actually.
Loads to go.
Yeah, I was getting ready to paint it, I think.
Yeah. I was in the shed and
gas, that was
mad.
I seen them images a while back, and the two of yous look fucking, especially you, look completely different,
bro. Yeah, different.
Difference is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's mad. Because back then I was
like looking at someone else.
Yeah, and for people that may not know the history or whatever, and I'm sure we will talk about all that eventually. Like, but I used to be greasy head. Spots all over my face and glasses, you know what I'm saying? That's the way it was. Like, and
he was beautiful.
I was cutie.
He was my little beauty.
My little beauty.
My little beauty. Just want to put him in my pocket.
But it was just the difference, bro. I see images like that all the time, and I'm like, and even like people say it to me, like, and they're always like, "Yeah, man, you look like a different fucking person. What the fuck?" You know what I mean?
What happened, you?
What happened? You were better back then.
What happened?
Yeah, you lost the glasses and you're shite now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you lost the glasses, got a big ego.
Yeah, you're shite.
Shy bag. A little shy in the book of this fella.
That was the first time that we met, and who knew it would form into a beautiful bond, bro?
Who knew?
You know?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew now?
Who knew now, brown cow?
Yeah, the Ricky fella was always talking about you back then.
Ah, yeah, Rick.
You know me and Rick are fucking...
That's you. That's
that's the best mate, as they say.
Yeah,
the best mate.
Of course, bro. Of course.
I have about 50 of them.
The boys are gonna be listening. Ricky's his best mate.
Ricky?
I actually feel a little bit weird.
No. Do you know what it is? Well, our group of mates, it's mad. Like our fucking group, like there's about there was about fucking 10 or 12 of us at one point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we were all back when we were young. The whole estate just hung around with each other.
Do you
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't matter what age you were. You know, you know what I'm saying? We all just palled around with each other, and all of our mates were kind of. We have not a big gap in age difference, but there's a couple of age differences, you know, between a couple of us. So there was always like little. I'm sure like any group of friends, like a big group of friends like that, like 10 or 12 or 14, you know, like there's little pockets of people that are closer than others.
Little cliques inside.
But you'd still be all like you'd still consider each other. Oh no, that's my best mate. Because we've all been through so much together. Like we've been through fucking deaths. We've been through everything together. Do you know what I mean? Like I was only talking to Danielle the other night. Like I haven't seen some of my best mates. Right, I haven't seen some of them in maybe 2 or 3 years. Haven't spoke to some of them in about 2 years.
Yeah.
Like face to face or just like a text like. Between one and the other, like, do you know what I mean? I haven't spoke to some of them in 2 or 3 years. I couldn't even tell you some of their kids' names. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd still consider them.
Yeah, it's still in your heart. Yeah.
Like they're still my best mate or whatever, and I'm sure it's like that for them as well, because they know, and I know if anything was to happen to any one of us,
of course,
you're there straight away regardless. Yeah. But they're gas, like, you know, they're a great group of mates, like, because it's one of these things where. You probably haven't spoken to them about 5 years, and then you bump into them.
You don't need to.
And it's like time stands still. Do you know what I mean? Like time doesn't exist when you're with the boys. Do you know what I mean? because it doesn't matter. You just, it's as if you've seen them yesterday or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or you were just out
yeah.
the day before. Like, there's none of that kind of like, oh, you fucking, I haven't heard you in years. There's none of that shit.
Yeah.
As soon as you see them, it's just like, what's the story? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
remember when this happened? Fucking, remember when that happened? It's like, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all just a big bunch of kids, like, really. Do you know what I mean?
It's a very I think growing up in areas like we grew up in, it's very tight knit in that regard. That's like your friends or your family outside your family type of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? And same thing with me, bro. I don't like if I didn't talk to one of my mates for 2-3 years, it's straight away as soon as we see each other, it's back to normal. Because you don't need to like.
There's
we
no
both
awkwardness.
know. Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, everybody knows what the story is. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. Growing up, like, obviously Daryl's probably my longest mate that I have. Diddler's probably my longest mate now that I have at the moment. Like, he's like I know that fella since. Did you know how me and him met? Me and him met because I got lippy with him. We were in primary school, and I got lippy with him, and he was standing there with the other boys, like that, little skinny athletic, standing there between all the boys,
squaring up to
and
the chicken chest out,
and I got lippy with him or something. This motherfucker, bro, I pushed him, kicked me in the chest, put me out. Like, I mean, this fella, long legs, buff.
Daryl Lee.
That's what I mean. Buff, kicked me in the chest, bro. And, like, I don't know what happened after that. We kind of just, I kept saying, like, I'm not letting that shit go type of thing, like, and he was like, yeah, fuck you. And we just eventually just started, like, talking to each other or whatever, and I was like, do you know what, I actually like this young fella, like, even though he's at the boot in the chest at me, like, you know, it's alright, like, and we got, then, like, I was doing the rapping thing on my own, and then, like, I kind of inspired him to rap or whatever, and yeah, man, it's just formed from there. He's probably the longest friend that I have, like, you know yourself, and we'll get into it later on, because I don't want it to be too heavy right now, like, but we'll get into it, like, in the second half or whatever, but you know yourself, there's been a lot that's happened to me over the last year and a half or whatever, in regards to mates. But it's the same with Nicky, bro. Like, when I met, and I'll get into that obviously whenever, like, but it was the same with Nicky, man. Remember Nicky I shouted out in the last one, my best mate growing up, like, same thing with him, bro. I haven't seen that fella, I don't know, like, I haven't seen him in years as well, like, but I know if I met up with him or if I bumped into him, it's the same thing, like, you know what I mean? You still get an invite to me wedding type of thing, like, you know what I'm saying? And I know it'd always be the same, like, but mates it's weird, bro, because I always, like, and I know you're the same, especially with your friends as well, that because your mates, bro, I went out and, like, I know all you boys from growing up, but then when we went and shot that video with John O'Dens, remember?
For home
for the spoken word piece, that is outrageous.
It is. It's outrageous. Shout out Jonathan Lambert, man. He's a genius. People don't realise how much of a genius that fella is. I don't even think he knows it, to be honest.
And the history as well.
He's there since day one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's worked with Little Dialect. I think he's worked with Rob Kelly. I think he has.
Like, bro, you need to understand that all that comes into elements of the history of Irish hip hop. Like, videographers, photographers, and Johnner's a big.
Some of the best videos that ever came out of this country back then, like with Nui and all. Yeah, was Johnner.
That's what I'm saying. Lambert, like, back then when I started making music and all, bro, and we started making a name in Irish hip hop. All the Johnner's videos was like, if you got a video from Johnner, it was the big thing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
It meant something. Yeah, like, it held weight.
That's what I'm saying.
Know what I mean?
And still
does today.
Genius, bro. He's a genius.
Yeah, he doesn't realise it. No. Shout out Johnner.
You listen to this and he wins them.
Yeah, he doesn't take compliments very well.
If he wins, and he's
a humble bloke. He doesn't realise how much of an influence he had on Irish hip hop.
Oh man, major staple in Irish hip hop. But where's I even going with that?
You were saying you were out with us that day. We were shooting home, remember?
Yeah, we were out shooting home, and, like, seeing, I'm actually looking at the picture now.
Yeah. Oh, the boy. Well, it's not even all of them.
It's not all of them. No,
Many's that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's only 7 of the boys. That's not even half of them.
Not even half of them. Yeah. But even seeing all that, and then, like, me going out, and the boys knowing me from being younger, it was like when I was there with you, and we were all pressed up against, is that Gork's house, is it?
No. Yeah. We're facing Gork's
the fence,
and O'Shea's house, yeah.
But we were all standing there, and I just, like, I remember somebody walked past, can't remember who it was, and they were like, it's a fucking 1990 in here, that's something. I can't remember who it was.
Is that on the boys?
Feel like I'm after travelling back in time.
Nobody has seen us all together like that in fucking since the 90s, man. Or since the early 90s, I'd say.
But even being out that day with you, I felt like I was, like, a part of that friend group then, you know what I mean? And you could just tell.
That's the way the boys are.
Just from the outside looking in, bro, you could just tell that you boys had a bond that, like, you couldn't pay for type of thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
We've all been through a lot, you know what I mean? Like, a lot has happened over the years, like.
Oh yeah,
like we're all kind of split up now, and we don't see each other much. We might see one or two. Like, I'd see Ricky more so than any of the other boys, Rick or Pud or Collie or something.
Yeah.
I'd see more so than the other boys, like Pat and Chunk. But it's still there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Of course, man.
Like, when Git died there a couple of years ago, and Christopher died a couple of years ago, we were down the funeral home. Like, we're all outside, and we were all there. Majority was there. Dane was there and everything, like Pat, though. We were all there. And it was mad. Like, it was just like, boys, man, we haven't seen each other in how long? Like, now this is before the pandemic, wasn't it? Git died. Git Cat.
I think it was during.
Was it during?
I think it was early days pandemic. Like,
I thought it was before that.
Could have been. No, I'm not too sure.
I think it was before that. No. It was. I think
it was before. Yeah. Right. Okay.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was mad. Like, Dane turned up with his kids. I was like, who the fuck are they?
Who owns them?
This thing is fucking nearly towering over me. I was like, Dane, who owns that? Who owns that fucking adult that you're with? You know, it was mad. Like, and you know, Dane, he lives in town now. You know, he lives in the city now, and you don't see him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Don't see half of the boys. Like,
yeah, Dane's great crack though.
He's a lunatic, Dane. Absolute lunatic. And Penyer's married now. Yeah. He's married now. Fucking Rick's married. I'm married. Yeah. It's madness. Like, Pud lives down the country. He has some big house down the country. Like a fucking football pitch out his back. You know, it's mad. Like, to see Pud like that. You know what I mean?
Coming out of the estate type of thing.
Yeah, it's just it's madness. Like, we're all in different areas now. You know.
Yeah, no.
But they're all doing good. Like, they're all doing good, and they've always been a good bunch of lads. Like,
yeah.
They're real one of them. If you're with one, if you know one of the boys and you're in the circle, well, then you're treated like one of them.
Yeah, of course.
If you're not, it's cool. You're outside. Good luck. Like, do you know what I
mean? Yeah. Type of thing, yeah. But it's that family knit thing where
like, you're treated like part of the family sort of thing.
That's what I'm saying. And the door, like, their door is always open, like, type of thing. And it's a rare thing, bro. It's the stuff that people don't talk about. Like, you know yourself. I'm not putting a little shameless plug in here, and you can cut this bit out if you want. But not to make it about me or anything, but to say, like, you know yourself with what I'm working on now for this year, like, that's what all that's about, like. And a topic like this is real close to my heart right now because I'm in it, like. Yeah. But it's
a love letter to the estate.
That's what
love letter to.
That's what I'm saying.
All the boys.
It's that thing, bro. That you all grow up with the same circumstances, near enough the same, like, circumstances, you know.
Yeah.
And you all understand how hard it is to grow up in an estate like that, but you also understand how beautiful it is and how rare it is to have that.
We were the family. Like, all them boys were my brothers. They were all my sisters. They were my dad. They were my ma. They were my uncles, cousins,
therapists. They were everything.
They were everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we were all like that. The majority of us were all like that.
And I thought it was a very, growing up, I was like, oh, well, one day, like, I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna have my own family and my kids, and that'll all be gone, like, you know what I mean? But that's something that, like, that's 60-70% of my identity is my mates growing up, like, you know what I mean?
Well, you learn everything
from that,
from each other.
Yeah, of course.
Good and bad. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Good and bad.
Of course. And it's just, with me, I've, along the way, especially over the last year or so or whatever, along the way, I kind of lost that, you know what I mean? In the sense of the people that I grew up with, that, like, and don't get me wrong, like, I still, bro, they still have a place in my heart regardless of what happened, like, but look, something happened, and it was a thing of, I've had the last year or so, and you know yourself, but I figured I could just talk about it on here, you know what I mean? But the last year or so, 60% of my identity has been, like, stripped from me, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel about it, like.
Yeah.
Because, again, I learned everything from these people, and I would have put some of these people that I grew up with, I would have put them above my family members type of thing, like, you know what I mean? Some of my family members, obviously not me ma or dad, like, you know what I mean? But I would have put these above my family members, like, because they were my family, and I still have major love for them, but the last year or so, it's just one of them things that it's shite that it happened, but it's
part of growing up, man, as well.
Yeah, it's that as well. Like,
it
you
is.
know what
It's
I mean?
part of growing up as well.
And we obviously we lost John last year as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it made that even tougher then, because we all kind of promised that we'd come together again, like, type of thing, because we all drifted a little bit, like, and we'd all come together again, type of thing. But then obviously whatever happened, and yeah, it's kind of that thing, bro, where you kind of have to, like, right at the time, I was obviously very, very heartbroken and pissed off and upset. Still am a little bit, like.
Yeah.
But the way I deal with it now is that accepting people for who they are, type of thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's something that I struggled with a lot, where I used to say to you that, like, I'm the sort of person that if somebody done something on me, I'd be like, I'd never do that to them. Why did they do that to me? But I'm like, they're not me, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, bro, I'm not in no way, shape or form perfect, like, you know what I'm saying? I've done some questionable things as well, like, you know what I mean, growing up, like. But I mean, like, it's all about learning and growing, and I've just learned the last while to, like, accept people for who they are, bro, type of thing, like. And it's a tough thing to actually have to do when your heart, because as I say, my heart was them, bro. Do you know what I mean? Was my mates growing up, like, my heart and soul was they're my brothers and sisters. And, like, even back when me and Danielle first got with each other, I'd put them above Danielle, like, you know what I mean? And, like, that's obviously wrong thing to do, like, but I would have, like, do you know what I'm saying? I'd do anything for them, and I still would. And if they listen to this, they know where my heart is at, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, the last, like, just because we're talking about mates, the last kind of year and a half has just been really messy for me, like, do you know what I mean? But I still have my friends there, like, I still have Daryl, I still have my friends there.
Yeah, you kind of have the, like what I was saying earlier, our mates, like 10 or 20 of us, but we all kind of have 2 and 3 people that we're closest to.
Yeah.
And I'm still closest to them today, but the rest of the boys,
that's what I'm saying.
They're still my best mates regardless.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, we don't see or speak to each other a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If anything happened, I'd be there.
And
I know they'd be I hope that they'd be the same for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Course, yeah.
I'm sure they would, like.
Yeah. No,
this
of course.
Is the way we always were, you know.
And that's the way we were as well. But obviously, without talking about it too much, some things have happened that, unfortunately, there's no contact there at all anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that's shy.
For you, for me, the way I can explain it to you is that with recording, with what we're working on now at the moment, to put out this year, it's hard to reminisce on them things when this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to. Fairy Tales 2, if anybody's listening to this, I put out a song called Fairy Tales 2 on my Instagram story, where it was just kind of like a therapy type of thing. I just wanted to write it, record it, get rid of it, you know what I mean? But I wrote that because I couldn't write anything else for the other thing that we were doing, like.
Yeah.
And because it's hard, bro. It's like, how are you supposed to fondly look back on these memories that you've had with people that you've only ever known your life to be your entire life, like, when there's no contact there anymore, like, type of thing. Do you know what I mean? But look, it's not all, like, I've dealt with that, and I don't want to make this podcast about, like, me sitting here venting, like, you know what I mean, or make it any.
I'm so sad. I need friends.
But, like, it's just for people that, if anyone's listening, and that, like, a big part of who you are and your people have just for some reason been gone. If somebody's listening to this, bro, it's just for them, basically, and for me to chat about as well with you, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And if you can take anything from that, like, and kind of just accepting people for who they are, because I'm at a good place now where I understand what's going on, like, do you know what I'm saying?
And another thing is, you know who you are now. You know what type of person you are now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know? Yeah.
And when you're growing up, it's kind of a thing, like, you don't know who the fuck you are.
No, very unsure, like
even when you're in your early 20s, like, early 20s, you haven't a fucking breeze who you are. Do you know what I mean? You don't, you don't. Yeah. And you don't realise that till you hit your fucking 30s, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember my 20s. And even in your 30s, like, I haven't a fucking clue who I am. And I'm sure in my 40s I'd be like, that's who I was, And in my 40s I'd be like, well, who the fuck am I now? Yeah. It's just, you know, it's part of growing up, man.
Part of growing up. Of course, man.
Like, you know who you are now. Mm-hmm. So you don't need that crutch anymore. Not that your friends wear a crutch, but I'm just saying, you know, you learn all these things from your mates, and you kind of lean on them a little bit, and, you know, kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. And when you don't have that crutch there anymore, it's kind of like, right, I have to do this on myself now. You know?
Type of thing. Yeah, no, of course. And I still, bro, the values that they've taught me and the stuff that they've taught me over the years, I still carry that shit with me every day.
Because some people are nothing without their friends.
Yeah.
You feel like they're nothing
without their friends. Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck am I without these people?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't need them people, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Relax, relax. You're safe, you're grand, you know who you are. Figure out in your head who you are. It's cool, don't worry about it. Yeah. You'll be fine.
And that part of where I was saying accepting people for who they are, that was also me accepting me for who I am as well, type of thing.
Because I used to be the same. Like, I'd be the same with people. Like, probably not the boys from Ladies Red, like, but with other people, you'd be like, fucking day out last night. Didn't give me a show.
Yeah, that's
you start getting pissed off thinking, did they not like me or something? Well, what the fuck is wrong with me? How come they were out and they didn't even let me know? Yeah. And it's like, because you're not that important, bro.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not a personal attack to you.
The world doesn't revolve around you.
It's not we didn't say that we'll all go out.
Life.
That's what I mean. We're not going to say we're all going out to piss Richie off. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like,
let's all go out together. But don't invite Richie.
Wreck his head.
Yeah. But you're at home thinking, wait a minute. They didn't invite me out.
Like it was some elaborate scheme. Like,
yeah. Like they're all out having fun without me.
Yeah.
It isn't fun without me.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Well, it's not like that. It's just like, nah, they were out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I know.
The world doesn't revolve around you. Like, relax.
I don't want people to take from this that I'm pure bitter about it, because I'm not. I've gotten past it. And I'm good now, you know what I mean? And they still have me heart, bro. Like, at the end of the day, although there's zero contact to you, if I got a phone call tonight to say, blah, blah, this is at the pub, it'd be there in a heartbeat, like, you know what I mean? Because that's who I am. Now, as you say, I can only hope that if that was me, the same thing would be returned, like, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure it would.
Yeah, it probably would, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's something about growing up in a council estate, I think. It's probably the same anyway, you know, I don't know. I only know because I grew up in a council estate, but it's just that kind of... It's that mentality, isn't it?
Because even people you're not even close with.
One of us. Yeah. It's that kind of...
Even people you're not even close with, bro, you'd see them on like a night out or something. And you're like, oh, what's the story?
What's the story? Yeah. And if anything bad happened,
they're there, like,
you know for a fact.
Yeah. You can rely on that.
Jump in,
yeah, that's what I mean.
You know
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
So I've been in other countries and I'll bump into people from Blanche. It wouldn't even be from Lanesville, just from Blanche that I'd know.
Yeah.
And he'd say hello or whatever, like, oh, what's the story? And then I'm like, if that happens here now.
Yeah.
It's grand, I know they'll jump in. I'll do the same.
But that's also that council estate mentality that
it is.
You're out on a night out and you're saying to yourself, if anything happens here, like, type of thing. Like that's mad that we have to think that way,
gas.
Isn't it? And we're just, we have to, because it's so unpredictable. Like in different scenarios, parties, whatever it is, Halloween night, whatever it is, it's all so unpredictable that I'm the same as you, bro. I have that mentality where I go into a place and if I don't know anybody, I start getting like mad uncomfortable, like, you know. Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's mad that we think that way, but that's just how we're conditioned, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, Aunt pops off here, he has me back.
Yeah, I know him now. Where's he from?
Yeah.
You know, it's grand. I know you jump in now.
Especially with me, being the white sheep that I am.
Do you know what? The bed sheet. Here he is, coming over the hill. Oh, it's the bed sheet. It's the bed sheet.
So I need help, bro. Trust me.
I've been in loads of situations where we've been in town or somewhere else, wherever, you know, we'd be in Swords or we'd be in the Sticky Vortex up in be up in the back roads or whatever.
Yeah.
The old club we used to go to, the Vortex, and you'd know as soon as you walk in, you'd see boys that you know or faces that you know, and you're like, yes, cool, that pops off here now, grand.
Yeah, grand.
Yeah, and if you see that going, no, just jump in. So that way, you don't even have to do one. You're just like, yeah, get the fuck.
Yeah.
And then you know, right, if I'm ever out now, he'll see me and be like, he fucking sorted me out of that place. He fucking jump in now next time. Slap the head off someone from me, you know?
It was like I was saying to you about when the first time I went out in Blanche in years, bro. Was obviously the pandemic had a part to play in that.
Yeah.
Was on Saturday, and even then I was saying to you, I was like, it's taking me an hour to go for a smoke because everybody's just, hey, what's the story? You know what I mean? It's just dapping me up or whatever, and then chatting to me. I heard your podcast coming out and all that stuff, and it's like, I don't know, bro. It's almost like even the people that you don't even know that well, like it's like that mutual respect type of thing, where it's like do you know what, he was in the same scenario I've been in multiple times. Do you know what I mean? Type of thing, and. Yeah, man, it's just growing up in a place like that. I said it in the last podcast, and I'll say it again, I just wouldn't change it for the world, like, you know what I mean?
Nah.
But, yeah, me mates, I hope to God that me mates would have me back, you know what I mean? Type of thing, like.
I have your back, bro, don't worry.
I appreciate
I slap the head off anyone.
Look at us.
I'm not a fighter no more, I'm too old for that messing.
Yeah.
You know.
So I won't give you a ring.
Then. Get the bleeding chest.
Get the chest.
Get the fucking chest.
Not a fighter.
I'm in trouble. Call the chest.
Call the chest.
You just see me chest through. Just leaps off me fucking chest. Body and just comes after you. Stomping down the road. It's the chest.
It's the chest.
Chest forever, baby. Big gorilla chest.
What? He say something to you? I'll get the chest down.
Get the chest. And then you ring Ricky. Get the back down here.
Get the back.
Ricky the back.
Ricky the back.
The back in the chest.
You ring Ev. You ring Ev. Get the sheet down.
Get the sheet down here.
We suffocate as well.
Cover up that body. The chest and the back knocks him out.
Speaking of mates, bro, I have some mad stories about my mates, man. I swear to God.
Oh, I'm the same. I could tell you some. We got up to all sorts when we were young. I was only thinking about it earlier because I knew we were going to be talking about mates.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was thinking about it earlier because some of my mates are gone now. You know what I mean? A lot of them have died like over the years from a little bit of everything. I shouldn't be laughing, but from everything. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You name it. But back in the day, man, fuck me, we used to get up to some mad shit. There was one time, right? I only remembered earlier. There was one Christmas, right? In Ladieswell, there was a house in Ladieswell that you go to for everything.
Oh yeah,
except for drugs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But if you need anything, if you needed a fucking a DVD player, a telly, if you needed smokes, drink, fruit, veg, toilet paper. Anything.
A bed sheet.
Yeah, a bed sheet. You got to have says for that.
Got the
but if you need anything, and you don't have the money for it to go down the shop for it, right? If you need and you need it on tick or pay by the week, you go Slate, to this house, right? You know what house I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I won't name names because it's not fair. But every fucking Christmas when we were younger, because we were all poor, like, all them estates were poor, like, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was all poor. And you go to the house or whatever, and you'd get your runners. So you get your Christmas clothes from this gaff.
Yeah, no, you
pay like a $5 a week or something like that. Mm-hmm. You pay throughout the year, and then you get your clothes for Christmas, right? So the entire estate had the same. We all had the same tracksuit and the same runners, right? They were like fucking. I remember them well. They were like. I have the Tom Sachs here behind me. They were like that kind of colorway, tan,
right,
a little bit of beige, and the red swoosh, right? I think they were like some type. I don't know. Some airspan or something. I don't know what they were, right?
Yeah.
But we all had them Christmas morning, except for Ricky, because Ricky, his family's from town, so
yeah.
He was always up to date on the latest fashion.
Fresh,
he was always the fresh one. He always had the fresh gear, like never wore the same thing twice. You know what I mean? That was Rick, like fresh as fuck. The rest of us were little poor cunts with fucking.
You boys look like a football team.
Yeah, that was us, right? So we all rocked out with these bleeding runners on, these beige things and tan on them and fucking red swoosh. And they were building, where Castle Curragh is now, faces Ladieswell,
yeah.
just across the lane. Mm-hmm. They were building that at the time, and you know how big that estate is, massive.
Yeah,
massive. We used to break in all the time and rob the copper and wood, and we used to rob shit out there all the time so we could build a base and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Christmas morning, all of us fresh to death in the exact same tracksuit and the same runners. We're like, let's go into the building site. It's Christmas, so there'll be no security guards. We're going to take what we want.
Yeah.
So off we go into this fucking countdown, into this building estate.
Yeah.
I was building site, sorry, and fucking, we were knee deep in mud. Because that had been pissing out, do you know what I mean? And the building site was just left there, like it was derelict, like covered in mud. We were up to our knees in mud. We're like, fuck it, we're just going to have to keep going. Didn't get on out of it.
No.
But there was like a lake in the middle of it, right? They dug out a load of soil.
Right.
So it was like a fucking lake. It was a big yoke. It was like a lake. So we used to get the foam boards, like the styrofoam. The shit, you break it up, it's like snow.
Yeah,
that shit? It was about the size of a door, like a door inside your house.
Right.
So there were these big sheets that used to put in the gaffs, like, for soundproofing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to get the packs of them, and we'd fuck them into this little lake, and then you jump on them. So it was
really?
Like a fucking... It was like a little
surfboard.
Yeah, it was like a little surfboard. You know what they do now, the way they have those boards, they stand up and they fucking...
and they kind of canoe a lot. Yeah.
You just see a man in the canal with the fucking dog. Like.
Yeah.
So it was like that for us. And we're in there Christmas morning with our tracksuits and our runners that we all had the same. We looked like a football team.
Yeah.
Up to our knees in muck, right? Absolutely destroyed them. And here we are in the middle of this lake with some 2x4, like a couple of feet long, fucking paddling along and thinking, what great, right? And we're like, do you know what would be even better? What? Let's go down the Shanty River and throw the boards in the river. God. And we'll jump on and see where the current takes us, and we'll just go down the whole river, because we were young, like, so we thought, right, we jump in this river's gonna take us out to fucking, it's gonna take us out to the sea. It'd be like the Goonies.
On the styrofoam board.
Yeah, on the styrofoam board. In our shit tracksuits, right?
Looking like a rowing team.
That's what we were like. Garda rowing team. In our blue tracksuits. Covered in muck,
flares, right? And all the
oh, I swear to God! And they were probably the button-up yolks, though.
The snap cakes.
Oh, we thought we were the Goonies. Like, this is the Goonies. We're gonna go on this big fucking adventure. We're gonna be taking down this river. The current's gonna take, the Shanty River. Yeah, it's a fucking, it's a little stream. We're like, yeah, we're gonna get in the river. It's gonna take us away on this big adventure. So all of us went down. It was loads of us,
Yeah.
The Gork fella was alive back then, so it was fucking, he was a big tank of a thing, do you know what I mean? He was a big gorilla, that fella. So, because these fucking boards were heavy, so like, Gork, man, you carry that one, fucking me and Paul would be carrying one together and whatever. We were all down there, loads of us, the whole fucking estate was down there.
Surfboards under the arm.
That's it. There was so many of us, we had to open the packs, and we only went on like 2 or 3 boards, instead of like, the full packs would be like 7 or 10 or whatever, do you know what I mean? Big, huge packs, like, so they wouldn't break around like that. We were like, nah. We're fucking geniuses. We're the Goonies. We got this. So you fuck our fucking 2 or 3 boards in. Me, Gork and Pud were on one, right? Down the river we went. Little curtain taking us, right? Think about Grey flying along. All the boys were all trying to race each other. Now, the Shanty River was grand back then. It was, like, it wasn't deep. If you fell in, you could stand up, right? You'd be fairly grand. But there was one point in Shanty River, this little bend. For some reason, it was just endless. You could fuck a trolley in it and you'd never see it touch the ground, like, do you know what I mean? So we were all terrified of it. So we're coming up on this thing, right? And there was water rats, no joke, water rats flying up beside us now. We're all getting freaked out, like, ah! I was on the front, the 2 boys were on the back steering, right? So I'm on the front pushing away. And you could just hear the crack. You just hear the fucking foam board crack. The top one cracked, right? Gork fella fucking went ballistic. Oh my God, we're gonna die. Get me off this thing. Pud fella started shitting himself. I'm on the front like, relax. Things swaying all over the place. I couldn't swim around like that. So I was like, relax, you're gonna fucking capsize us, you're gonna kill us all. And he's like, we're coming up on that end, we're gonna die. Even the water rats won't go near it. Right? All the boys laughing at us now. This thing started to break. I just felt it rock, right? I just felt the whole thing rock, because I was right up the front. I just felt it rock, like, what the fuck? I look behind me, I goes, what's going on back there? 2 boys were gone. 2 boys were gone. I was on my own. All the other boys on the floats, they were gone and all. I looks over at the side and you just see Gork. Now, Gork was a fucking tank of a young fella, you know what I mean? He was built on fucking stew and potatoes, this fella. He's on the side of the embankment with fucking pista beds, holding on to pista beds and shards of grass, right? Don't know how he was holding on, but he was holding fucking on. He was determined.
Richie,
I'm not gonna die. Right, I look over the other fucking side and Pud's on the other side doing the same thing too. I'm not like,
for them.
Telling me to jump and I'll jump. You're gonna die. Right? You're gonna die. This thing snapped in the middle and I had to just keep going because I was terrified. I couldn't swim. I had to just keep going. The thing took me the whole way down, right? We got as far as the river could go. And as soon as you get the cord off, there's like these tubes or whatever. You can't go through them. We got there and that was where the fucking adventure ended. Fucking idiots.
2 minutes down the road.
It was literally 2 minutes down the road and drama the whole way. The 2 boys panicked, abandoned ship. You're gonna die! Jump! I'll catch you! He's hanging on the side of the embankment with fucking holding on to pista beds and fucking thorns and all. Arms and hands ripped apart. Even the water rats were looking at him going, look at this dickhead. Look at this fucking idiot.
Richie gets to the end of it, he's like, alright,
steps
grand. Off it.
Yeah, he got off it. 1 or 2 of the other boys went through the tube, got out the other side and was like, nah, I can't go anymore. I got stuck in the bushes.
Oh my God.
Fucking hilarious it was. All on Christmas Day.
Yes.
Boys
out here looking like a canoe team.
That's how we were like. Here's the rowing club.
The ladies were rowing club.
On the phone boats. In the Shanty River.
Got as far as car off and was like, that was deadly.
It was literally 2 minutes and the fucking drama of it was gas. It was, you gotta die. Get off it. It was fucking gas, it was.
Could hear the intense music in your head now.
Oh, it was hilarious. Hilarious. Destroyed all our runners, everything. Next day, got battered when I went home. What the fuck happened to you?
Yeah.
You never believe me if I told you.
Oh,
I was on an adventure. We were the Goonies. We literally thought we were the Goonies. Swear to God. Oh, rootless crack, man. We used to do stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
The Pena fella got on to me the other day, and he was saying,
oh my God.
what did he go on? I forgot what he got on to me for or something. I think there was a photograph of the studio that we're in now.
Synchronized swimming club. The two boys on either side.
It was fucking gas of us. And me in the middle panicking. Well, I do. The fucking water rats laughing at me.
Oh, sorry, man. Go on. I'm sorry. Yes, just keep fixing it.
It was fucking hilarious. We were on the same Navy tracksuit with the runners. Oh, if anyone saw us, man, they must be like, these fucking God. Idiots.
Right. Go on, sorry. About Pena.
Oh, the Pena fella got on to me the other day. I put up a photograph of the studio or something. You know the way I have the scream mask, the bust of the scream mask? Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, sorry. The fucking stupid tip. There's a photograph and Pena got on to me. He was like, Jays, do you remember when we used to go down the lane? Do you remember the lane that used to be ladies' well?
Yeah.
When we were small, I think it was like Scream 2 or 3 came out. Actually, I think it was 3. I think that came out in 2000 or something. And Scream 3 came out and Scream Mask was all their age, you know?
Yeah.
And it was around Halloween time. It used to be real foggy down the lane, you know, around that time of year, because the stream, the river, the Shanty River, right? So it used to be real foggy down there, you know, in the evenings.
Yeah.
And we used to get down with the scream mask on.
Right.
We dressing up, like, put the scream mask on, we'd hide in the bushes. And when the owl lads and the owls were coming back from the shanty, you'd jump out and chase them up the road.
Give me a hoodie.
You used to just jump out and fucking, and they fucking go run, because the lane was pitch black. And they go fucking baiting up the road.
She's just running at them. You gotta die.
You gotta die. Right? And they'd be fucking like, these cuds would be 50, 60 years old. We'd be chasing them up the fucking road. There'd be 3 or 4 of us with a scream mask on chasing them. Oh, we used to get fucking killed for it. We used to ring the guard and all.
Oh, Lord.
We used to get killed for it, we did.
Some of my mates, bro.
So funny.
The shit we used to get up to, especially in school. Like, school was where all of it popped off for us. Like, because the boys just didn't give a
We were never in school, so we fucking...
Yeah, yours was actually...
We used to destroy the school, we did.
We were in school once, and my mate Sean, who done the skiff for the album, yeah. Oh, he's one of these blokes that, well, back then, he was one of these... He's calm now, has a kid and all now, he's alright. Like,
he's grown up.
He's grown up, yeah.
But any spare time...
He
chases people up the lane with a scream mask on, screaming at them. And we were about fucking 4 foot. Yeah. These were grown adults, man, and they'd be screaming, roaring, crying. We were just like, fucking...
One of Ev's white sheets.
They fucking hated us, they did. They hated us.
Anyway, yeah, he's...
There's the swim team back.
The swim team are terrorising the hood.
Here's the bowling team. Here they are. These are lads. Those things. Boo.
The swim team have a pep in their step. Oh, stop, will you? Come here to me and I tell you, right. I have to get this story out, bro. Stop. Right, so Sean used to be one of these blokes that your mate Sean used to be one of these blokes that he did want, like, he's one of them, like,
no,
Sean, you wouldn't put your head through that window.
I fucking would.
Yeah,
How
who
much?
won't?
How
You know?
much?
One of them, right? So we were in class one day, and my mate Nicky, he turned around. It was one of them things that we didn't move for class. The teacher came to us, like, in between class and secondary school. I think we were in the second year.
Be easier to keep control of you.
Yeah, that's all it was. Don't trust them walking from there to there. Like,
half of the class had disappeared to the jacks for smokes.
Half of them back to the Mars gap. Fuck that. That was way too much. Anyway, Sean's one of them blokes, and we're in. I don't know what class we were waiting on, but it was in between class, and the teacher was coming down to us, on the way down to us, and Nicky had the cabinet open. He says, Sean, you know, like one of the, you know, like the steel cabinet, like a foil cabinet, like, but it was empty, right? And it just had like a shelf on top of it, right? Steel shelf.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
He says to Sean, right? He goes to Sean, Sean, you wouldn't be able to fit in that. Sean goes, who wouldn't, right? Gets into the thing. Mickey obviously closed it behind him and locked him in it, right? And Sean was like, boys, this is grand. I'll stay here for the whole class. Just don't say anything, yeah? Alright, cool. Teacher comes in, we're all fucking giggling now, was not sitting there, and she's like, what's going on? You need more structure and all this crack, right? He's being disruptive. And I just couldn't stop laughing because I just knew what was going to happen, like, you know what I mean? Teacher's up there and she teaches some. This is about 15 minutes. The classes are 40 minutes long, bro. It's about 15-20 minutes into the class. This fella's silent. I forgot he was even in the fucking thing. Yeah. And I'm sitting there having a sleep. I forgot he was even in it. Like, and teacher's teaching or whatever. And then next time,
teacher's teaching. Teacher's doing a bit of teaching.
Yeah, she's doing a bit of teaching, right?
A bit of teaching there if you're looking.
Shots in there snoozing. I'm sitting there forgetting this fella. I'm learning, right?
Learning me subs,
right? And all I hear is, and the face, bro, on the teacher. Yeah. The teacher looked and she was like, "What the fuck?" She didn't know. She thought we let a wild animal into the bleeding class.
You let the bird in.
Right? But what happened was the shelf came down on top of him, right? And he started getting mad claustrophobic, and he was like, "Boys, get me out of this fucking thing." He's freaking out. And all of us are just pissing. Not a single person helping him, right? Not a single person helping him, bro. And this fella is screaming at the top of his lungs, "Get me out!" But then I have to put the step up, but then all you can see is, right? It went silent there for a second or two. And the teacher was like, "Where's the keys off that?" And all, I don't know who had the keys, but they were acting the bollocks and they wouldn't give them to the teacher. And she was like, "Where's the keys off that so I can open and let Sean out," or whatever. And all we see is then it goes silent for a second, and then all we see is his fingers, you know, through the gap between the two taps, and he squeezed them. We can just see his eyeball, right? And he's like, "Get me out of this fucking thing." Fellas start dumping the doors off the thing like that. Who can get me out, right? So eventually we got the key, bro. Oh, stop! You want to see the fella? He was got over and he was sweating buckets, dripping. Use our ticks and all this. Who's the tick you got into the fucking thing? Oh, stop! I swear to God. The stuff that we used to get up to in that school, oh, it was so funny, man. Swear to God. One of my mates, teacher says,
what school is that? What school
Blake's,
is that?
We went to Blakestown.
Blakestown.
In Blake's, yeah.
Don't know why I thought you went to Cardiff. Don't know why.
No, I didn't. I went to Blake's, and it was the worst thing in the world, because as soon as I got in there, they were like, "Are you Elaine Flynn's nephew?" And I was like, "Yeah." And you're like, Yeah, okay, we'll keep our eye on you. You know what I mean? I was a little, but bro, I was all right in school from like 4th towards you, and then 5th and 6th years when I went all downhill for me. Like,
I was a prick.
I was an arsehole.
That's why I was kicked out.
But one of my mates got suspended before because the teacher says to him, right, he was being disruptive or whatever, and he got fucked out of class, and he's standing outside the classroom. She comes out to him at the end of it and says, she goes, "Pick that up." It was like 15, 20 cents or something on the ground, right? She says, "Pick that up," and he goes, "It's not mine." She goes, "Yeah, but pick it up." And he's like, "Alright, fucking weirdo." You know what I mean? Picks it up and she goes, "Now I want you to go on your break. No, tomorrow I want you to bring me in 20 cent worth of jellies and we can call it quits, right?" And Diddler's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, so he bounces on, right? Fuck the bleeding, I don't know, flicked 20 cent at somebody's head or something. You know what I mean? On the way home, thought nothing of it. Went in. We had her for the first class then. Next day, went in. We all sat down. She's doing the roll, and she gets to his name, and she was like, "Have you got something for me?" And he was like, "What?" He, like, at this stage, bro, completely forgot all about it.
Yeah.
It's like, "What?" And she was like, "Have you got something for me?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "I've done my homework, like." What a damn right? He goes, "Done my homework, miss, like." And she was like, No. The other thing I asked her to get, and she was like, "See me after class." Seen him after class, bro. She suspended him. Fella got suspended because he didn't get a 20 cent worth of jellies. I was like, what is that teaching anyone? You know what I mean? What's that teaching anyone? Is that just you giving him an order and he didn't follow? What the fuck?
Me
like,
20 Vizzy jellies.
Stop, bro. The skill was ran by idiots. Idiots it was, I swear to God. I was in detention nearly every day, like every single day, bro. Every single day. I swear to God. But your detention was before school, it wasn't after school, like.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what I mean? But I remember we were out in the yard once, me and all the boys, and around the yard once, right? And we're all standing around, and when you're a teenager, you just make these, you get these ideas in your head, and you're like, yeah, let's do that, right?
Oh, bro. One story just came into my head. Wait and I tell you this. Go on. Wait and I tell you what we did.
Right? So we're all in the yard, right? And we're all standing around in a circle, and one of them had a bright idea to be like, see how long we can stay here, like, before they call us back in, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, down for that, 100%.
That's a whopper right there.
100%, right? So we're all standing in this circle, bro, like a little bleeding protest group, you know what I mean? Standing in a little circle, and the teachers are like, come on now, boys, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and the boys are like laughing and all, right, standing there, and then a few of them start going, oh, here, legged it in, bitched it or whatever, yeah. But then it was me, Nicky, and a couple of other boys, and we're just standing there, and this caretaker, bro, when I tell you, he's screaming at the top of his lungs in my ear, and I'm like that, straight face, yeah, not moving, right? But then one of the boys goes, you could just hear one of the boys then saying, you're lucky I'll even go back into the class, I'll bail out of this place. And they were like, what are you talking about? This fella took down, bro. He took it to a new level. Like, what are you doing, bro? Just go back to the class. Like, it's a bit of crack, you know what I mean? This fella would start getting pure militant about it, you know what I mean? He's just like, no, we don't even have to go in there if I don't want it. And I'll start getting all political about it. I was like, bro,
takes his jocks off,
sticks them on a pole like that, swinging them around. But I was like, relax, bro, you're taking it too serious. This fella runs, right? Runs for it, because the gates are locked, because they couldn't leave them gates open. We'd leg out all the time. Like, gates are locked outside the yard. And the back of my school, back of Blake's, is where Briarwood is, where at the end of Killows Road. Yeah, there, right? So that's the back of it. Like, this fella takes toe towards the fence, right? Up, right? Tries to jump over it, bro.
I know the fence and all, yeah. Big joke.
Tries to jump over, he gets to the top of it, yeah. He's like, nah, fuck you, it's not right at the top. And he jumps down, bro. And he jumps down, his trousers got caught on the top of the fence, yeah. Trousers got caught on the top of the fence, and he just slapped his face off the thing, and he's just hanging there.
His arse hanging out.
He's just hanging there, and the caretaker had to take him down. Oh, bro, I swear to God. It was the cockiness, he's on top of fuck you. Fuck you. Then he got somebody help me.
I hope I never see you again.
Oh, I swear to God, bro. Funniest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. So funny, man. Slapped his face off it. Then he needed the help after. He's like, that 2 minutes ago, fuck you. That's what you get, brother, yeah? That's what you get.
Oh my God.
Karma's a motherfucker.
we were walking to the centre one day, right?
Yeah.
This is when they were building that estate. So they were building Castle Curtis still.
Yeah.
And we were walking to the centre. And before you get the car off, they dug out all the soil or I don't know what they were doing. But underneath it, nobody knew it was there. Underneath it was a fucking, like a bridge. Like there was a bridge underneath, right? Like a walkway bridge, so you'd walk through one end to the other. They must have built it when they were building the roads there or something. And realised, oh, we're not connecting these two estates, so let's just bury it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we found this fucking yoke. We were like, oh my God, the Goonies are back.
Boys start getting PTSD, you know?
The Goonies are back. Let's go in and see what's in there, right? So in we went. Didn't have a torch around, didn't have phones back then, do you know what I mean? Yeah. In there were our candles. Went back up to the estate, got our little candles. Phone and walking through, right? So with graffiti on the wall or whatever. A couple of oil barrels and fucking bricks or whatever. And one of the lads comes around and goes, yeah, wouldn't it be pure funny if we made like a fake dead body? Put blood all over the walls, yeah? And then we'll get some of the lads to come down and we'll find it and scare them. Right? So there was about 4 hours there and we're like, yeah. That's gas. Yeah. Let's do that.
That's real funny.
Yeah, that's really funny. Let's do that to kids.
To kids.
Because we were kids.
And traumatized.
Right? Yeah, let's do that to our friends. And scare them for the rest of their life. So up we went on a mission. So up we fucking went back up to the estate with our candles. Got a couple of pillows, smoked clothes. Back down. We made blood out of fucking paint and water or something like that, right? Down we went. We were very imaginative, right? Went down. Very versatile we were.
Yeah, man.
Then we went into the fucking bridge, made our little fake dead body, put an oil drum on where the head would be, pretending the head was squashed. Right? Swear to God, what the fuck? Serial killers in the making we were. Off we went back up to the estate.
Everybody is.
Back up to the estate, right? We see Mark, one of our other mates. seen Mark and we seen Rick's wife Melissa and her friends were walking to the centre. She was like, yeah, we're there hearing some noises in this bridge, right?
we just heard it. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, we're gonna die. It was with the water rats slagging us off.
Yeah,
there's the swim team. They're back. There's the Olympic team. They're back. Right, so off we went down. We're giggling behind them. This is gas. One of the boys stayed in the bridge. This is how dedicated he was. The fella that came up with the idea. This is how dedicated he was. He stayed in there, pitch black, and waited for someone to come along so he could scare them. Right, this dead body, this fake body. So when we went, we thought it was fucking the gas thing. We were like, "There's no way they're gonna believe it. This is gonna be really funny. They're gonna see and go, whoa, this is so funny."
Yeah.
Didn't go like that. All right.
Never does ever.
These cunts took it pure serious. We went. We shined the fucking yoke and we had that candle, and you just see fucking our mate. I was about to say his name. We don't pat around him now. I don't even know where he is these days. But you just see him fucking the oil drum on the head, right? The pretend head, blood all over the place. The girls, when I say they were screaming, I mean they fucking screamed. I'm surprised they didn't hear it and fucking got up, rang the Garda, right? And our mate Mark wasn't in on the joke,
right?
So even he was terrified. He was like, "What the fuck?" Right? Everybody just ran on toe straight up the field, back up to that gaff, screamed, telling our ma's now, ringing the Garda. We ran up to Mark's porch, right? And he wouldn't let us in the porch. He was closing the porch. "Oh, get out of here, lads. The fucking guards coming. I don't want the guards at the house." Yeah, I don't want the detectives coming to get me, you know. And kicked us out of his porch, sent us on our way. We were like, "It's not real, Mark. It's pretend." He was like, "Get the fuck out. Get out." Screaming at us. Everybody screaming, crying and all. All the girls were fucking screaming, crying around the gas. We had to go around to each house to tell them that was a joke. We got fucking battered, we did. We got killed. No, I mean, like their dads were fucking gonna kill us. Their mas were going mad at us around at the gaff, screaming at our ounds. They were all going mad, all of them terrified, having nightmares and all for weeks. Terrified of this dead body. We thought it was a great idea. Oh, it was one of the worst ideas I ever had in my life. We found a moped. We found a moped just beside the field there. It belonged to some lads in Cardiff, right? Yeah. This is a couple of days later. We found a moped down the fucking field. And we took it out. We're like, yeah, we're going to get that. We're going to fucking take that moped. This is one of the first times.
Sniffing out the petrol.
Sniffing it.
What's that moped?
Oh, there's a bike in there. Right, so we found the bike and we took it. It was me, Penny, Dean, Pat, or some pud, right? And we're like, what are we going to do with it, boys? And Penny was like, I'll drive it across the fucking, to the other field and we'll stash it in Cardiff's field.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, you do that, buddy.
Of course.
So he had to go across the main road, right? So he was going across the main road on the fucking bike, and he comes clean off the thing. He hits the barrier, he clothesline the barrier, comes clean off it, and his mum was parked on the road in the traffic looking at him. She's looking at him like, look at this fucking Egypt.
There's no one worse, bro.
He shit himself. Seen his man just rev the thing back full, clothesline the fucking barrier, came clean off it up into the air. It was fucking gas. It was.
I swear, right? I'm not even messing, bro. I don't think there's anything funnier than somebody falling. I swear.
He came clean off.
You know, somebody. That's why I wanted to tell that story, because you know somebody that's cocky, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
he wasn't even cocky. He was just like, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
I'm the oldest. I'll do it. He went to fucking clothesline the barrier.
There's nothing worse, bro. Swear, see that's the funniest thing in the world to me. You know, one of them like, fuck you, walks into a hole, like, you know what I mean? Off tower hits the deck like something trips him up.
Oh, the funniest, man.
Swear
the absolute funniest. It's mad, like even the way some of us met, you know, like we used to pal around with certain people, and then it was like, oh, this is my other mate who I know, blah blah blah, let's fucking pal around with him. Thing, Like the first time I met Ricky, I was having a scrap, so I was baiting this little young fella on the green. I was swinging him around, right? I won't say his name, he's a good young fella, like, do you know what I mean? It was back then, it was like
he was a 6-year-old.
He was 2 and I was 12. No, I'm joking. No, we were super young, but he was younger than me.
Yeah.
And I was swinging him around. It was outside his house on the green. You know where the green is at the shop? I was swinging him around the place and slapping the head off him, right?
You can't be a part of our rowing team.
You can't be a part of our swim team. This is years before that, right? The first time I ever met Ricky.
Yeah.
And I'm swinging him around the place, slapping the head off him, and next of all, I just feel a nudge I'm like, what the fuck? I look beside me and Ricky's on the other end of him swinging around the other side. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I says, all right, are you okay? He goes, yeah, my name's Ricky. What are you up to? I goes, not much. My name's Richie.
Your man's like, ah!
I'm like, we're going to be best buds. I swear to God, we just dropped him down. I was like, right, that's grand. That's dealt with. You're not being a part of the swim team. And the two of us went off my best mate since.
I love
swear
that.
to God,
love that.
swinging
Kids,
him around.
Kids, man, that's all it takes for kids. I used to hang around in Whitestown when I was younger as well, before I started school out here. Like, before I moved there, I used to hang around. My nanny's like, yeah, for people listening, that's Whitestown's where my nanny's is. But I was walking past, I'm still friends with them today. I was walking past Alan and Steve's gaff. I won't say their second names or whatever, but I was walking past Alan and Steve's gaff, and they were just in the tree in the garden, bro. They're just in the tree in the garden. They were just perched up like that. Who are you? Chester. One of them.
Two Robin Redbreast. Who are you?
Who are you? And the boys are like this, you know, in like a weird stance, like, you know what I mean? Just playing some jungle game that they made up, like, you know what I mean?
Spider-Man.
And they're like, who are you? Because I interrupted whatever playtime was going on there, bro. I interrupted the two brothers, like, you know what I mean? I walked past them and they got like that, just sensed me, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, who are you? And I was like, I'm Ev. And they were like, I'm Owen. And he's like, I'm Steve, we're twins. And I was like, oh, deadly, eh?
I can see that.
He's like,
you look like a swim team. You look like a rowing club. You part of ladies' man rowing club, are you? Where'd you get them tracksuits?
Boys.
We can't get 3 made out of foam boards, is it?
I can't get one of them tracksuits anyway. But yeah, that's all it takes, bro. And they were like, yeah, do you want to play this game with us? And I was like, yeah. Can you climb trees? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, want so? You know what I mean? In the bleeding,
it was
the
like that
round
for us as well.
tracksuit.
Majority of us met from fighting. From fighting each other.
Yeah, scrapping. Like,
scrapping, like, be up the park fighting or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Gas.
Oh, man. Swear to God.
Like, I remember Rick's cousin, Jay. He's not with us anymore.
Okay.
Jay, the first time I ever met him, he was playing, it was Tombses. I don't know if you remember that. Where they throw 2p at the fucking wall or something. I don't know how it works now. They throw it at the wall. It's like a little money game or whatever, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
They were playing that around at the shop, hitting fucking the Tombses off the wall or whatever. I don't know what I said. I must have been being cheeky or something like that. And Jay stood up. Jay was older than me, like, and he's a fucking absolute scrapper. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't. But I still wouldn't back down from anybody. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'd stand my ground, like, because I knew if I didn't, I was going to get pure bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of us were fucking roaring at each other. I thought Jay was going to fucking kill me. And then Ricky came around the corner. Oh, what's the story, Richie? Oh, that's my cousin Jay. Jay, this is Richie I was telling you about. I was like,
that's all it takes, bro.
Phew.
That's all it takes.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, we're friends.
Hell yeah, buddy. Like, we're friends now.
You're lucky you're his cousin.
Yeah, you are lucky, bud, because I was about to fucking scrap you. I was about to scrap you.
I was about to slap you with this fucking foam board.
Yeah, I was about to break this foam board over your head.
I was about to unleash the rats.
Where'd you get that tracksuit?
Where'd you get that tracksuit? I want one.
That's what it was like, though, man. That's where it was in that estate. It was mad. It was.
But that's all.
Fighting everybody.
It all boils down to just the same thing, bro. Same thing I was saying. It's like that mutual respect type of thing. You know what I mean? Growing up in an area like that. Do you know what I mean? And we kind of experience the same things.
Yeah.
Although there's a generational gap between me and you. We experienced near enough. We learned the same lessons, but in different ways, type of thing.
Different ways.
But yeah, man. I wouldn't change it for the fucking world, I swear to God.
Because I think everybody in the estate thought that we were going to be the next group of lads that were going to be the fucking joyriders and
the lunatics, yeah.
The drug pushers and all that. Like,
yeah.
But we weren't, like, you know. We knew the older lads. And a lot of us used to pal around with each other and we do things for them or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But we never really, that was never in the cards for us, you know what I mean? Like, we were little fuckers when we were younger. Like, we were little bastards. Like, you know what I mean? We take on, if it wasn't nailed down, we'd take it. Do you know what I mean? But we wouldn't creep houses and we wouldn't rob people. We wouldn't go down
extreme, like,
wouldn't go down the village, like Blanche Village, and rob some old lady, like, do you know what I mean? We wouldn't put up with any of that carry on, like, do you know what I mean? There was none of that, like. But
no, of course.
If the boys, the older lads, robbed a car or a bike or something like that, and we knew where it was, we'd go out and have a little shot of it. You know what I mean? Just a little whip around. The boys didn't mind. They used to go mad at us, like, yeah, what the fuck, you know? But they'd be laughing at us, you know, these little cunts, these little pricks, you know what I mean?
The little
proud Air Max 90s that we all have, the exact same ones, the same tracksuits, you know.
Same tracksuits.
There's the bowling club. Look at these cunts. You know, but we weren't little gurriers or whatever lads called them now, scumbags or anything like that. We weren't like that. Like, And we're still not like that today. Like, none of the lads went down that route. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's the same.
We're
with
a
us,
good
bro.
bunch.
We were a good bunch down,
especially
lads, down in Whitestown.
The lads a little younger than us, not too young, but the lads that were kind of there was the older lads, that were up the top of the shop hill. Then there was us, and then there was a little younger crowd kind of underneath us who, like, we used to rent the mopeds out to, and all, like, the Rob jokes, we used to rent them to them for like a couple of euro or whatever. They turned out like fucking lunatics. We didn't, for some reason. We just did it. It just wasn't on the cards for us. You know what I mean? We used to just have the crack. And we did do a couple of things that were a bit like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. But it was nothing like harmed anyone or anything like that. Like, there's nothing too serious. I mean, look, we fought all the time, and we fought with the Travellers, and we fought with people from Fortlawn and Whitestown and Cardiff and Tyrrellstown and all that, or the old Tyrrellstown. You know, but that was about as far as it went. Like, there's nothing too serious. There was no stabbings. Like, a couple of us have been fucking stabbed a couple of times, and you know what I mean, with different. I've been stabbed with a screwdriver a couple of times. Scars all over me, fucking whatever, you know. But there was nothing ever serious like that.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like, we were such a good group of mates as well, especially when I started hanging around Whitestown. Like, that's where I found like that, like, tight knit family thing. Like, and man, we were such a close group of friends as well. And it's the same thing. We were like, every group of mates, bro, is bound to have that loose cannon, like, you know what I mean, and like the people that are down to do whatever type of thing. And then, like, they were still a good group of lads, like, you know what I mean. We still stayed kind of on that fine line between, you know what I mean. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. Same with us. We've done some shit where it's like, probably shouldn't have done that. Like, you know what I mean. Like abandoned houses, all that stuff. Like, never ever an actual house, but abandoned gaffs. We used to always
abandoned house. We used to all that was nothing.
But,
that was nothing.
Yeah, that was nothing. Yeah, but it was the same thing, bro. We all kind of still had our group of mates as well. We all still kind of had our morals, like, you know what I mean, and knew the same thing what you were talking about. Like, whether we knew at the time, we knew that we'd never go that far type of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, we had each other's back, like the way you boys have each other's back. You know what I'm saying?
We were wild. We were wild. That's all we were. We were just wild. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no like, I don't know. There was no rules for us or something when we were young. It's weird. Like, you know, when you look back now, you're kind of like, Jay, did we really do that? Yeah, we did.
How did we get away with it?
How did we get away with that? One time, right? This is fucking a good example now, right? How we didn't die and how we got away with this is unbelievable, right? This is unbelievable, right? This is going to sound like it's made up, right? We had 2 cars, right, with no engines in it. I forget where we got the cars from. I don't know whether we took them out of the field or we got them from a house or something. I don't know where we got them from. Like, if someone like gave them to us or whatever, like, we didn't steal them. They were given to us or we bought them or something like that, right? They had no engines in them, right?
Right.
So what we did was, what we thought was a good idea, was to push one of the cars up the top of the shop hill, where I come from, Drumheath Gardens, which is a big, for people that don't know, it's a big hill. Down the bottom, we'd have the other car. And what we do is, let's play Demolition Derby with the cars, right? So there was about 10 or 12 of us on one car, on the roof.
No Hot Wheels, use real cars.
Oh, yeah. There was lads in the boot. One was in the driver's seat, passenger seat, in the back seats. One was on the roof. There was no bonnet on one of them, so one was in the engine bay where there was no engine, holding on for dear life. And in the other car was the same, all the boys on the roof and all. And what we'd do was, we'd slam them into each other on the hill. So we'd put one on the top shop hill and smash into the other one. This went on about 8 rounds, smashing into each other. And we'd be at the bottom of the hill and all, like, pushing them into each other, smashing them around the place. Like, this is a fucking housing estate.
In the middle of the day.
Road. In the middle of the fucking day. That's how bad we were. How we weren't killed, man, is beyond me.
Used boys got them mountain ramps put in there. I know for a fact these days. Them ramps in
those ramps, that was because of the cars. The cars being robbed. Robbed cars. Used to be robbed cars all the time now, But down the lane, we got the cars down the lane somehow. And the older lads had a walking car behind one of them and a walking car behind the other one.
Yeah.
So they'd be fucking up. You know how skinny the lane was back then. You'd only fit a car up it.
Yeah.
So we're all in the fucking in the strip cars, like, do you know what I mean? Holding on onto the roof and all dear life, thinking we're great. This is gonna be deadly. And the boys are fucking driving cars behind them, smashing them into each other. We were going flying all over the place. Didn't give a shit. It was fucking mad. It was mad. The stuff we used to do. The stuff we used to do. How none of us died back then, man, is unbelievable.
Yeah. We were the kids that watched that happen. Like, we'd start, you know what I mean?
Get up.
Yeah, get
we were
up.
On the roof
this
going,
is deadly. Yeah, you were on the roof, like, you know what I mean? And then it's the lunatics that are in the cars, like, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, we were them kids, bro. We were them kids that, like, we got, like, the same with you. We got, like, dip our toe in a little bit, like, you know?
Like, we used to dip our whole leg in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We used to dip our leg in.
And then the boys are playing soaked head first, like, you know what I mean?
Trying to teach us, you know?
Yeah.
It's mad it was back then. But then all the boys, all the older lads, do you know what it was? Do you know what I think it was for us? We went far off the age of the older lads. We went that far off. We're only a couple of years, probably like me and you. Do you know what I mean? We went that far off, and we were watching what was happening to them.
Yeah.
They were dying off, and they were getting locked up, and stuff was happening to them. Do you know what I mean? We heard shootings up at the Green Box, and when we'd be standing close by, a car drive past and fucking start shooting at them and all. Like, and you know, we were like, we're witnessing that. And then the house I grew up in, there was a lot of stuff like that going on as well. A lot of illegal activities was going on. And same in all most of the other boys' houses as well. Do you know what I mean? There was stuff going on, and we were all watching that, thinking, "Oh, Jesus Christ! If we do that, that's going to happen to us."
That's the thing.
And some of the, you know, not to get gritty or grimy, but some of the stuff that happened to the older lads was fucking crazy. It was like something out of a fucking film. To us, we were like, "Oh my god!"
And you just learned from what you were watching, and that's the same with us. Instead of being a product of your environment,
and the Garda used to treat us like fucking shy.
Oh, don't even get me started.
The Garda used to treat us like shy. You couldn't walk down the road without being stopped, searched, fucking dragged around. You get slapped. You get a kick up the fucking hole if you were being cheeky. And I was a cheeky cunt to the Garda. I was a horrible cunt to the Garda.
Yeah, when we used to get stopped in ladies, in Whitestown, and I told them my address. That was it, bro. They always.
As soon as you mentioned
pull me aside,
like that,
pull me aside. What are you doing down here?
He has something on him.
Yeah, what are you doing down here? Pull me aside, pat me down the whole lot.
We wouldn't have anything on us, and they'd be like, "Where's the drugs? Where's the?" We're like, "We don't fucking know. What are you doing, you dickhead?" But see, we were watching the older lads, what was happening to them, and I think that's what kind of drilled it into us, you know, where the generation that were under us were still a little bit too young to kind of
see what,
what was going on, like really, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Because they were all fucking lunatics, the younger lads, fucking mad things. They still are fucking mad jokes.
Yeah.
The sound is fuck. Fucking mad things they are. They're mad. Yeah. The stories you hear. Oh. Yeah, it was mad back then, man. It was mad back then. It's a shame that we're all scattered all over the place now, you know, because they are a good bunch of lads. Like Gork, obviously, you know, he passed away. He was in a car crash. He died. Before, you know.
Yeah.
That was kind of the big one for us.
Yeah.
Because Gork, like me, Gork, Mark, Rick, Collie, we were all real close. And I was really close to Gork, and I know Mark and Gork were like fucking brothers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mark now lives in Australia. And it kind of just, when he died, it kind of just split us all up, really. We all just kind of...
Yeah,
we just
happens, bro. Happens, you know what I mean? You know, unfortunately,
not that he was the anchor that held us all together, but it was kind of like what happened to him. It was just like, whoa.
Yeah, that was the big one.
We've all been around death and stuff in the estate. People that we knew got shot and fucking OD'd or whatever, and stabbed to death and all that sort of stuff. We knew of all this stuff, and we heard of it happening, and because it happened in our estate, you know what I mean? And we knew the lads, but nothing. I want to say close to home, like all of it was close to home, but Gork was like,
nothing prepared you for that. Like,
he was the brother, do you know what I mean? He was the older brother who looked out for us all. Because Gork was one of them. If anyone said anything to you and Gork knew about it, he'd go down and sort it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the older lads wouldn't say anything to Gork. The boys were older than him, because Gork was a fucking lunatic. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was a mad thing, like heart of gold, like, but you don't get in his way. Do you know what I mean? And Gork was kind of like the protector for us, like.
That was the big one, yeah.
Yeah, he was the big brother, like he was the big brother, you know. And I think when he died, I think that was it then.
But I even remember that. I remember when all that happened as well.
Because Jay died before Gork.
Right.
And Jay, I wasn't that close to Jay. Obviously, I'm really close to Ricky, and Jay was Rick's cousin. Gork and all them were kind of close to Jay. And I remember ringing Gork when that happened, right?
Yeah.
Because Ricky rang me, told me or whatever. Me and Rick were on the phone when it happened, the night it happened to Jay. And then I remember the next day, I think, I was outside my ma's house, and I rang Gork. So I was like, geez, I haven't spoke to Gork in ages, because he was the first one with a kid and all, you know.
Yeah.
So I rang Gork. Like, geez, that could have been him, like, you know. Haven't seen him in ages. So I rang him. I remember ringing him, and the two of us were chatting for ages. We're like, oh, you know what happened, terrible and all this, and Gork was heartbroken and all that. We all were, because Jay was a fucking sweetheart. Like, he wasn't like the rest of us. You know what I mean? He did his own thing. Like, he was a hard worker. He was a grafter. Like, do you know what I mean? He was a good young fella, like, do you know what I mean? It's a shame what happened, like, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, don't get into that, so I started bleeding balling. But I rang Gork. Remember, the two of us just having a fucking chat, like, bro, I haven't seen you in ages and I miss you. And he was saying the same, and like, yeah, man, I haven't been around ages, sorry, you know, the kids and fucking I'm busy with the house and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's cool, whatever, you know, we'll get together. And then the night he got in the accident, I was supposed to be there that night, but I wasn't, because I'm one of these kind of like, it's not my scene, you know, I don't want to be around the house parties or whatever. It's not my scene. And I'm good, because, you know, I was with him at Jay's funeral, and that was the last time I seen him. Then a couple of weeks later, then he was in the crash, like, and died.
Jesus. It's tough. It's tough, because I think those big deaths.
We've had friends after Gork die, and you know, I've had friends away from ladies well that I knew of that have died, like, of OD'd and suicide and stuff like that. But Gork, I think, for me anyway, Gork was the big one, and I think for the majority of the lads, Gork was the big one. When that happened, it was kind of like, oh shit, you know. Yeah. And we all just kind of spread out then and just started, because the group wasn't split up, but, you know, when I was telling you about the little pockets of people, all those little groups kind of got more closer, and I think that's what happened, really.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible. But it's unfortunately, I've experienced big deaths like that as well, you know what I mean? Stuff that's like kind of impacted me as well, like, you know what I mean? And that would have been Peter, like, from me, Peter Whelan, because we were all tight, and we all bickered and fought all the time, but, you know, like when you're kids, like, but we always had each other's back, like, you know what I mean? And with Peter, it was the same thing for me. It was a real shock, because one of my mates rang me and was like, yo, what happened to Chrissy's little brother? Chrissy is the older one. Chrissy's, we hung around with Chrissy, and Peter hung around with us as well, you know what I mean? And he was like, Chrissy's little brother, what happened to Chrissy's little brother? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh no, I heard something, like, people are putting up on Bebo and all, saying, like, rest in peace Peter Whelan or whatever, and they're changing, like, the profile pictures to him and all. And I was like, what? I was like, no, surely to God someone would have told me, like, you know what I mean, before I went out there. And I left. I thought he was talking shit, just in denial, bro. I was like, yeah, whatever, and hung up the phone. Didn't even bother checking out. And then I went down to my nanny's the next day, and I was walking down the lane, you know the lane that's at the side of my nanny's? I was walking down there, and I seen all of them there. And Jodie, I don't even talk to her anymore, but we used to hang around with her as well. Jodie came up to me, she was like, did you hear? And I was like, what? Completely forgot about the conversation I had the night before. Like, I was like, what are you talking about? And she told me, and then I seen Chrissy, and he was in bits, like, and I was like, oh my God, the same thing just hit me hard, bro, because it was like the first time, like, I tell everybody that I love them now because of that. Before I leave them, like, you know yourself, and you're always saying, oh, shut up with that shit, like, you know what I mean? You're always saying that to me. But that's why I do it. Like, anytime I leave any of my mates, if I'm with them, I always tell them that I love them before I leave them, like, because 2 weeks prior to that, I wasn't around, like, do you know what I mean? In Whitestown, I wasn't around. I just stayed in my gap. I don't know what happened. Something, nothing even happened. I was just in late as well for those 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't around Whitestown or whatever. And the same thing, what you were saying, like, the last time you spoke to Gork was at Jay's funeral. That's the same thing with me. I was like, wait, like, the last time I talked to him was like 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Just, it's tough, bro. It's tough, but yeah, I've lost mates, especially over the last 2-3 years. I've lost a few mates now. Like, you know what I mean? It's tough, man, but it's it's unfortunate. You know what I mean?
It's part of growing up. I always say the worst thing I ever did was grow up.
Yeah, man.
It's the worst part of life, is getting older. Shy getting older. Absolutely shy.
Yeah.
It's mad though. You move on, you know what I mean? Well, you don't move on, you never move on, but you learn how to deal with it. And you find, you know, as you get older, you get new mates. Like, I have friends all over the bleeding place now, like, you know.
Remember some of them deaths, bro, that I don't even think I have dealt with you properly at all, like, do you know what I mean? That I think that I kind of just, I don't know, you're kind of on autopilot, isn't it? Like, you're doing your day-to-day thing type of thing, and then you think you're over it until something, like, because I thought, like, when Peter happened, bro, it was like 2008, 2009 when Peter passed away, and that for me was a big thing then, and now like it's only recently, not recently, I'd say in the last 3-4 years, it kind of hit me then, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just obviously a note to what you were saying, is that it's not that you get over it, but you learn how to deal with it, like, you know what I mean? And I'm learning how to deal with it still. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's it. You never get over these things, but you learn how to live with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes when I'm up in the, I love going to the mountains and that. I love being up there, and when I'm up there, they'd be like, just thinking, Chase, Gork was alive now. Imagine he was,
Yeah, all that stuff, bro. I'm sure you know the whole retep thing.
Missing out on this and all that, You'd be walking through places and you'd be like, wow, this fucking place is amazing. Shane Gork and I'd see this and that kind of, that silly that thoughts like that come into your head, like,
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course.
Madness, like, he doesn't know my kids or anything, like. He knew Danielle.
Yeah.
Didn't know my kids, like, or anything like that. I never met them, or, you think of things like that, like, oh, jeez, I would have loved them to meet Gork,
Yeah, of course.
He was a funny fucker, like.
Yeah. No, I know. And it's the same with all that stuff, bro. I think about stuff like that all the time, because Peter was young when he passed, like. Peter was 11, 12 or something. I think he was 10 or 11, yeah.
Gork was 20 odd.
When he passed, yeah. That's what I mean, bro. It's just tough, like. It's tough. And I think about stuff like that, what you were saying, all the time. I think that, like, oh, he's missing out on this, like, or he's not around for this or whatever.
Because I'm a fucker, like, I move between people. You know the way I am.
Yeah.
I move between people a lot, but there's people that I know now that I would talk to more regularly than I talk to the lads I grew up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not a dig at them or anything like that,
Mm-hmm. No,
like,
I know.
Like, people I would talk to most now, like, on a day-to-day, it'd be you. Like, me and you text every day.
Every day, yeah,
like, be WhatsApps.
Yeah.
Every fucking day for me and you.
Yeah.
Danielle. It's my wife,
mm-hmm.
Danielle. So, you, Danielle, and probably Adam, Math Man.
Math Man, yeah.
That'd be the kind of... That'd be the core daily, group of who I talk to the most. Like, I would talk to you and Math Man more than I would talk to Ricky and Collie and the other boys.
Yeah, all the boys, yeah.
And that's not a dig at anybody. Like, I love the boys no matter what. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, we don't talk every day, but they're still my best mates. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
I do anything for them, they do anything for me, type thing.
Yeah.
But with you and Adam, it's different. That's a different friend group or something. That's the way it is in my head. Like, we,
of course, yeah.
Me and Rick and I grew up where, it's a different friendship or something.
Yeah, you're able to like compartmentalize.
Yeah. But I'd be the same with you and Math Man. Like, I'd be the same.
I'd do any, I'm the same with you, bro.
I wouldn't let anybody say anything bad about you or anything like that. Like, I'd have no bad words said about you in front of me, and I'd be very protective and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because Adam has done a lot for me over the years. Like, it was kind of a friendship. Not that he did a lot for me, and that's why we're friends. A bit like yourself, didn't want anything from me.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Because away from the lads and ladies, well, we all grew up together, we all did the same thing, blah, blah, we all know who we are. But when you start making new friends, especially me, because I made music and people knew that. So when I start making new friends, it was like they just wanted something from me.
Yeah.
They all wanted something, do you know what I mean? Where yourself and Adam and that, like, it wasn't like that. Do you know what I mean? You didn't want anything from me. You didn't need anything from me.
Yeah,
I know me and you worked together, and that's how we came together. But when we became actual friends, and it wasn't a working relationship, you didn't want anything from me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just, you were just there because you like
being around.
Being around, like, and having the crack. And it's the same with Math Man. He's never want anything from me. I've never wanted anything from him. I didn't look for anything. Just a mate. Do you know what I mean? Me and him are close friends, and that young fella, he changed me life. How he changed me life, you know what I mean? With what I was doing at the time, radio work and that, like, he changed me fucking life. Like, he doesn't even realise it, Yeah. He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
It's the same with you, though, for me. And, like, I know this is weird that we're having this conversation face to face, because I only ever send you voice notes of this shit, because I couldn't have this conversation with you.
No, because you know what I'm like.
We're here. Yeah, you start, stop doing
like anyone saying anything good about me.
Yeah, that's it. Just, you can't take it, like. But
it's because I hate myself.
There's that defense mechanism again.
The voice.
It's because I hate myself, bro. No, but for real, bro, you've done. When I say you've done more for me than, like, the majority of my mates. Like, and I don't, like you said, like, that's not a slight dig at the boys.
No, it's not.
It's not a slight dig.
It's a different friendship.
Yeah, but you've done more for me, not in the sense of favours. I'm talking, you've done more for me like, as a friend, like, than anybody ever has. I'm not talking about favors, bro. I'm not talking about the stuff that you do for me musically or artistically, anything like that. I'm not talking about that relationship. I'm talking about our friendship. Like,
yeah,
you've done more for me as a friend than the majority of the boys have, and that's why. Like, I'm the same as you. I talk to you and Danielle.
Yeah,
and that is it, bro.
Yeah, you you're Danielle.
Yeah, my Danielle. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. I love this fella so much. I went and got a fiance the same name as his wife.
He wants to be me.
Sorry, yeah, we should probably explain that to them because they probably think we're with the same Danielle.
My wife's name is Danielle, and Ev's fiance
is Danielle.
Also.
But I'm just gonna refer to her.
I
as
had
Dib.
my Danielle first.
Yeah, I'm gonna just refer to her as Dib from now on.
Yeah,
on the
and
podcast.
Danny from me.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyway, but that's back to the series. That's
people must have been like, he talks to Danielle every day. It's weird.
No, but say even the last podcast, they were like, "Are they sharing the?
What's going on there?
What the fuck is wrong with them boys? The fuck is wrong with them boys?" Anyway,
they really do have a good relationship.
Fair play to her.
Play on that rapport.
But no, bro, you've done like you know yourself. I say it to you all the time, and you hate hearing me say it, but like you've done more for me than anybody, not anybody, but majority of people have done for me. Like, bro, I consider you as like number one for me. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, in regards to friendships or whatever. Like, nobody, same thing that you said. Nobody could say a bad word about you around me or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, look, bro, fucking, I'm Dory's Uncle Ev now. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, it's just something. It's very rare, and I always say to you, it's very rare to find that friendship with somebody. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's mad because we grew up in the same estate, and it wasn't until we left the estate that we became mates. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird. Like, but yeah, man, it's just like the way I see it with me and you is that, like, it's like you're my brother first. Like fuck this music shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody always says to me, like, everybody will always ask about you. You know what I mean? They'll always say like, oh, how's Richie getting on? What's he working on? And what's he doing this and blah blah blah. And I just be like, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? Like, anytime they ask me, I'm like, well, he has a gang of shit in the gaff that only I've ever heard. You know what I mean?
A hard drive full of stuff.
Yeah, that only I've ever heard. I was like, but you probably won't, so I'm not even going to tell you he's working on that stuff. You know what I mean? So I'd just be like, yeah, he's good, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's grand. Yeah,
grand,
away,
flat out. Like,
still doing the DJing? Yeah.
Still doing the singing, are you?
You're still at the DJing?
Yeah. But it's like, I love the fact that anytime you go anywhere or I go anywhere, it's almost like I don't know, for now lately, especially the last like 2-3 years, that we've gotten like extremely close, like, and we share a wife now. I
have them tracksuits ordered to do. The swim team is back.
Oh, sorry, that's just my defense mechanism. I throw it a joke when things get mad seriously. But no, but the thing, especially over the last 2-3 years since we've gotten like extremely close with each other, that I don't know where I was going, bro. I'm not losing my train of thought now. Hold on, where was I going with that?
I have no idea. I think you're going to tell me you love me or something.
I do love you. That's the main thing. No, do you know what it is? Sorry, I'm back to it now.
He has a ring.
That since we got extremely close over the last 2 or 3 years, that it's like, it's weird for people to see one without the other now. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like if I'm around, like, say, like, for instance, I've been in the playground with Chris and Dave and that, like, shout out to the boys, and like, it's like the first thing is like, oh, Richie's not here with you. You know what I mean? And then like, I'm sure it's the same with you.
Same with me.
It's like, where's Ev? You know what I mean?
Anytime I bump into anybody that knows the two of us, I was like, oh, how's Ev getting on?
Like, fucking ass
grand,
bro.
I think. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Oh, how's Ev? That's the first thing out of my mouth. Oh, how's kids? Yeah, grand. Yeah. Oh, how's Ev? I don't know. Ask him. Fucking give him a shout. I'm not his bleeding dad.
No, but I think I always say to you that's something that you couldn't pay for, bro. And people might be like, listen to this and be like, oh my god, turn this off. These boys are just confessing their love for each other.
No, you're confessing your love.
Yeah.
I'm staying silent because you know how I am.
Yeah, I know what you're like, but I know you agree. Richie's sitting here nodding his head and wiping the tears. That's why he's not saying that. No, but look, and this is what I'll end on, is that it's rare, and you couldn't pay for it, like, you know what I mean? And I believe that me and you met each other for a reason, and it's not just for music, like, you know what I mean?
Because Ricky Egan told me.
Yeah, because of Ricky. Good rapper. That's why. In his matching tracksuit, would you?
The four of us were in matching tracksuits with the runners on. Here's the debate team.
The debate team.
Here they are now. Doing a bit of debating.
The swim team on tour. Over in Manchester or London or wherever you were.
You're over there for a little debate, you know.
Yeah, debate over whether Ev was good or not. Like,
our best buds now.
We're like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. That's what we're like now.
Yeah.
Did you touch my fucking drum set?
Nah, man. Shout out all the boys.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real.
Family
real,
forever.
Shout out all the boys. You have my heart, lads. You know who you are. Richie, I'm sure you were the same.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And you keep saying that I changed your life. You would have done all this stuff regardless, you know what I mean? And you did the same for me, because like I was in a shite place at the time. You know, we'll get into that a different day, but I was in a shite place at the time and I needed something to focus on. And you boys brought it out of me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of got me back on my feet a little bit, and amongst other things, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Family and that. But you guys as well, like, were a big part of that, especially you. Because when things ended with the group, and then me and you kind of said, no, fuck it, you know, we'll crack on and see where this goes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, type of thing. Yeah,
still helps me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like I'd go out places with you more so than I would with other mates.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we'd go off on little adventures or whatever, the Goonie style ones.
The Goonie
down the river with the tracksuits on.
The runners.
You know? Oh baby,
baby,
welcome.
Yeah.
So you know, it works both ways here.
Yeah.
Different ways, but works similar.
No, I'm sure. Look, I'm sure I've been beneficial to, especially around that time. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, what you've done for me it's a different level. Like, you know.
Yeah, I'm like that. Like the way you were saying you are at me. Like I've been like that with Gav and with Mathman as well. Like I'd look at Mathman and be like, Jesus, you know, if I can rear my young fella to be acting like you, like I'd be doing a good job, you know. And it's the same as yourself, like you know how I am with you as well. Like,
no, bro.
Yeah. Look, let's end this love session on a.
Let's end the love session
on a joke. Tell us a joke. Do you know any jokes?
I do.
Go on.
No, I think I do.
Fuck off.
I know the dad jokes. I know the dad jokes. Like,
go on, give us a dad joke. I know no dad jokes. I'm terrible at stuff like that.
Did you hear about Tato Park?
Go on.
Born to a crisp.
Off.
Oh,
and you said if you were serious, here,
go on. Born to a crisp. I love those dad jokes. You know the ones. That's
give us one more, and then we'll end
it. I'm trying to think of the best one.
The way you said that, though. Here, Jay, take it back. What?
Born to a crisp.
I was starting to get worried. What? Jesus.
What happened?
Who?
Cuchulainn?
Tato?
What?
No.
There's another one. I don't know if it'll go down so well, but we'll try it, right? So let's imagine we're
it's already off to a bad start. So just imagine that this is really funny.
Just imagine it's really funny, and imagine you're some outfit sitting beside me in a pub as an outfit, right?
All right.
And this is the conversation.
I am an outfit.
This is the conversation we're having, right? Here, outfit Richie.
Outfit 1, outfit 2. I'll be outfit 2.
You'll be outfit 2, right? Here, outfit 2.
Yeah, outfit 1.
Did you hear about the big hole that's in Pear Street? The big manhole?
The big manhole in Pear Street?
Yeah.
No, outfit 1, what is it?
The coppers are still looking into it.
Fuck off.
And this thing now, will it? I'm sweating.
And scene. Oh, this has been Gobsmacked with me, your OC.
Lee Johnson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Make sure you subscribe to wherever you're listening from. Write us a little review if you can. Share it, like it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Even if you don't like the podcast, still share it, because you give us a dig out. We're only starting off, so
help us out.
So bear with us.
So we can buy matching tracksuits for the swim team.
The babies.
Babies. That's the
The babies.
Roller disco team. Holy stuff.
Oh, good luck. Right. See you next week, yeah?
Podcast ended. This has been Gobsmacked. See you.